and the fasting insulin is
food chain of the health ministry and the bureaucracy, or the very literal food supply chain? Okay, alright.
It is far too easy and cheap to get processed foods with high sugar content, with low protein content, low fiber content, and getting healthy food with adequate quantities of protein, adequate quantities of fiber. Indian diets, in the way they are structured, do not have a lot of protein for vegetarians. That is a fact. The thing is, for me personally, when I was looking for alternative protein sources, it's very difficult. Either whey protein is extremely expensive, and it's a powder that you're taking, so you're not able to prioritize whole foods. So I think we need to make protein-rich foods more available to people. That will make it a lot easier for people to consume and to be healthier. We need to make sure that fiber-rich foods, which is a very important preventer of diabetes, that needs to be made very easily available.
Now, how do you decide on, multiple times you use the term that healthy foods is a term that you use multiple times in the entire conversation. On what criteria would you decide something is healthy? Or how do you decide that something is healthy? Let's take the direction of, with the classification of nutrients in itself.
I think diets can be healthy. Individual foods are not healthy per se. I was just saying that for ease of conversation. You need a holistic diet. When you're consuming foods, you need to make sure the balance of your nutrients is maintained. You need that 20 to 30% protein, 20% fats or less, 50 to 60% carbohydrates. If you're able to alter it to make it even higher protein, lower carbohydrates, that's even better for you. My point here is
do you think 60% carbs is healthy?
No, I think that needs to be reduced. That is a current guideline that we are taught.
Let's say you're given the authority to write the guidelines, what would you write?
I would need to look at research, honestly. Like, a lot of epidemiological studies have been done. I would need to compile them, look at outcomes in studies that have done less carbohydrates, higher proteins, and I would also have to look at the feasibility of it. Whether people can actually get that protein. The non-vegetarian people are able to get it very easily, but this is an issue that I've seen a lot in my own family as well. We just do not consume enough protein, and it's very difficult for us to do.
Thank you.
Such that both of these require change at an individual level as well as the system level. I would say individual would be the ideal one, because obviously you're catering to each person. Everybody is involved in that. It's more specified, it's more customized. But obviously in a country like India, where there's such rural areas that are inaccessible,
where I'm hoping we're at a stage where we're able to cure cancer, basically. That has always been my dream. Cure all forms of cancer, so that it's not your own body that is turning against you. When the cause of your death, I don't want that to be something that your own body has created. And yeah, so my dream as a doctor in 2035 is to cure all cancers.
so I'll answer it in two ways, on a personal level and as a doctor. As a doctor in India specifically, I've seen that a lot of people are still dying from diseases that are quite treatable or preventable, which they're not in maybe the West. So that's a huge waste of life if people are dying because of things that we can prevent. So I hope that reduces in 2035. And on a personal level, I hope doctors are not being beaten up just for going to work.
So both of your answers were very emotional. Mine probably won't be. So I believe that in medicine, especially in India, there's not a demand side problem, it's a supply side problem. And I believe that there are enough problems that all of us can solve. By 2035, which is 10 years later, I'd like to maybe solve one of them.